Very good evening to everyone. Hope I'm clearly audible before we start with the webinar session. Okay, I believe I'm clearly audible to everyone. So, yes, very good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone who are present over here for the session of AWS Masterclass. So, this is Mayuri from Novel Vista, your host for the webinar. It's a pleasure to have each and every one of you joining us today from different corners of the world. Whether you are a seasoned professional, a curious enthusiast, or someone just dipping their toes into the subject matter, we are thrilled to have you here. So, staying informed and connected is more crucial than ever, and that's exactly what we aim to achieve with this webinar to foster learning, exchange ideas, and spark insightful discussions around the topic. But this webinar is just not about the passive listening, it's about active participation also. So I encourage everyone present over here to ask questions, share your thoughts, and engage with our speaker and fellow attendees. After all, it's through the collaboration and interaction that we truly enrich our understanding and drive meaningful progress. Before we kickstart with the webinar, I want to buy 2 minutes to introduce Novel Vista to all of our audience. Founded in 2012 by seasoned industry professionals from Wipro, Infosys, JP Morgan, Novel Vista is now a proud NASSCOM certified member. With a global footprint, we boost expertise in delivering over 1,000 training programs worldwide. Our domain level proficiency spans industries such as insurance, manufacturing, telecom, ITIS, banking, BFSI, and supported by a diverse portfolio of 1,600 plus training modules driving digital transformation initiatives. With a network of 2,000 plus corporate trainers, Novel Vista serves 100 plus clients globally, have trained over 1 million participants in the past 12 to 13 years. We are also proud to mention our partnership with GSDC Council. The Global Skill Development Council is an independent, vendor neutral, international credentialing and certification organization for emerging technologies like Gen AI, blockchain, AI/ML, ISO, DevOps, and many more. Also, with GSDC, we have other OEM proud associations. We have ICSIN, PeopleCert, Prince2, ITIL, and many more. As a preferred training delivery partner for leading MNCs, including CG, TCS, HCL, Atos, Accenture, Novel Vista continues to be at the forefront of empowering with skills for success. Knowing the importance of knowledge sharing in the industry, Novel Vista has organized many boot camps, webinars, summit, masterclasses on the trending technologies. We are proud to share that the niche technologies globally. Before we dive into the content, I would like to introduce the speaker of today. We have Karishma with us, having a rich experience in delivering high-end technologies to diverse participants. I welcome Karishma and I would like to hand over the session to you.
Yes, thank you, Mayuri. So, hello everyone. Audible for everyone? Hello.
Yes, Karishma, you're clearly audible.
Okay, so we can start now. Here, let me share the screen. Yeah, the screen is visible for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So here, today's webinar topic is AWS versus Azure. Okay. So welcome to the AWS versus Azure seminar. We can discuss the few prospects about the AWS, few prospects about the Azure. Okay, in which one is the right path to choose? Either we have to go with the AWS certifications, either we have to go with the Azure certification. What will be the current market demands? Okay, that all the things we can discuss in this webinar. Okay, so let's start with the webinar. Now, first, already my introduction is conducted by the Mayuri, but still I'm giving my complete experience. So I'm having the experience from 10 plus years and conducted the 25 plus batches, including AWS, Azure, DevOps, Java full stack, Python full stack, in the different terminologies. Successful completed the training programs for both the college students, the corporate clients, everyone. The program is success, even though the training that we deliver, the certification training. So overall, till now, whatever batches we completed, so all the participants are passed in the first attempt, certification examination first attempts, rather than it's AWS, rather than it's Azure. Okay. And also we have a DevOps certifications as well that we offer. Okay, now let's start with the agenda of the day, what we gonna cover in this particular webinar. So in this webinar, we start with the introduction. So what is the introduction? What is exactly the AWS is? What is exactly the cloud platform is? What are the different cloud services is? Okay, then we can start with the actual strength and weakness of about the AWS platform as well, and strength and weakness of Azure platform as well. Then after that, we can start with the hands-on. We'll show the hands-on how the Novel Vista will conduct the training certification programs. What is the hands-on learning approach? Okay, then we can compare the what are the features of the AWS, what are the features of the Azure, what are the different certifications available inside the AWS cloud industry, what are the certifications available for Azure industry, what is the market review, job positions offered by both certifications, and then we'll go discuss the Novel Vista training model. Okay, so this will be the agenda for the day. So let's start one by one. So first we need to understand about the cloud computing. Can anyone tell me, if you aware, what is the terminology means cloud computing? Anyone? If you aware, anyone can answer. What is the cloud computing, guys? Hello. Yeah, I'm expecting at least one answer. If you are aware, what is cloud computing? Anyone? Anyone from you? Okay, yeah. Yes. Okay, so you can just unmute yourself and speak out.
Okay,
What
can
you
you hear me?
know about the cloud computing? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You're audible.
Okay, to my best of knowledge, cloud computing is the new technology which saves our data and everything we are using on our computer in the cloud. And with this platform, it's more safer than saving our files on our personal computers or our phones.
Okay, correct. But as a definition, as a technical definition, how we can define this cloud computing? So basically, guys, the cloud computing is nothing but it is the transformation of your on-premises setup to the cloud world. Okay, so if I want to maintain the applications, okay, without investing lots of amount, because see, what is the drawback of the on-premises structure is, if we maintain the application on the on-premises structure, so we need to purchase what we can say, the different servers we need to purchase, the different networking things, networking devices such as routers, networking devices, that is network card, network gateways. Okay, so this many things we need to purchase, and we need to maintain the data centers, one separate storage room for the data centers. In the data center, we need to establish the servers, and the servers we need to accomplish the applications. Okay, so this is the quite time consuming process, even though the cost efficient process. Okay, it will takes too much cost, because see, if I'm starting if I keep my application on the on premises structure, and suddenly if traffic increases for that particular application, so what we need to do is we need to uh, increase the number of servers. So that is quite uh, costly to increase the number of servers, to purchase the new servers. So what is the better solution that we can maintain our application with a cloud computing. So what is a cloud computing? Cloud computing is nothing but cloud computers are providing the services for us as per the demand. Whenever we demand some services from the cloud environments, cloud providers, they can provide the services to us, and based on that services, they can charge with us. Okay, they can charge for the usage of the services. Okay, that is about the cloud computing. So now in the cloud computing, we have a different, we can say, on demand delivery. So these are the pricing actually. So how the cloud computing providers can take a charges from us. If we are using their services, how they can charge from us. So basically there will be on demand delivery, and then pay you as you go pricing model is there. So what is that on-demand delivery? Let's say suppose if I require some networking support from the cloud platform, if I require some virtual machine support from the cloud platform. Okay, so we can make a demand. Okay, so on demand means whenever we demanding some resources from the cloud environment, they provide the resources access as per the need of the customer, and they can charge the number, how much, how many time, how much that resources we utilize. They calculated on a second basis or hourly basis. So depends on the usage of those particular resources, we need to pay the some amount to the cloud providers. Okay, but that amount is not big if we compare with the on-premises setup. So in the on-premises setup, what we need to do, we need to pay a lots of amount. We need to pay the amount for server, purchasing the servers. We need to pay the amounts for the data centers to keep, we need to pay the amount to the professional team who will be taken care of these data centers. Okay, so definitely compared to this on-premises setup cost, this cost is less. Okay, so that is one of the benefit. That's why we need to go with the cloud computing. Now next is, what are the feature, why we need to use the cloud providers to maintain our application, to migrate the applications from on-premises to cloud platform. What are the features? What are the things? So very main feature that we have with the cloud computing environment is a scalability. Okay, what is a scalability feature? Let's consider, suppose I am the customer and I am working on the e-commerce website. Okay, I'm having my own e-commerce website, and suddenly to increase the sales of the e-commerce platform, what I decide is, I decide to announce the some sales, some discounts in the respective sale, like a festive sales, like a big discount sale, that I decided. So I announced this kinds of sale on my e-commerce portal. But what happened, that suddenly the traffic will increase. Okay, and I'm having I purchased the two servers to handle this particular portfolio, e-commerce portfolio. But if the traffic is increasing and these two servers are not sufficient to handle the traffic load, and even though sales are increasing, so what I need to do? It is not possible to purchase the new server because it takes too much cost to purchase the new server. So that that kind of situation will be handled with the cloud platform. So in the cloud platform, whenever the traffic will increase, you can easily scale the number of servers. So whatever servers you purchase from the cloud platform, so you can scale up those servers if your traffic increases for your application. So that feature is called as scalability feature. So it is a very good feature. Due to that feature, we can go with the cloud computing uh, providers. We can use the cloud computing provider services, servers, we can say. And another feature is a flexibility. So what is the flexibility means, guys? Suppose I can choose for my application that there will be flexibility given. Either you can choose the Windows or machine, Windows VM from the cloud providers. Either you can choose Ubuntu. You can choose the number of storage you require as per the size. You can increase the storage, you can decrease the storage. Okay, you can add the extra storage for your application. That kind of flexibility is given for the cloud provider platforms. So that's why we need to go with this cloud computing environment. Okay, that is the reason that we discussed. Now we can see what are the market trends. Okay, market trends means how the market is captured by this particular cloud provider. If we see about, if we discuss about the AWS, so you can see this is the graph, a current market graph of AWS. So you can see there will be what is the say more than 70% of the market is captured by this AWS cloud provider as per the graph. This is the graph. Now, if I go with the AWS cloud certification, what will be the things? What will be the chances? So in next coming 5 to 6 years, the AWS career is boosting. Okay, and we'll get a lots of opportunities to work with the AWS team. Okay, so that is one of the reason to choose this AWS as your platform. If I talk about Azure, Azure is also one of the leading top cloud platform provider, cloud service provider. So if I compare, now you can see this is the graph of the Azure. Okay, the Azure is also one of the growing cloud provider in as compared with AWS. Okay, so both are provided similar kind of services, but some services might be differ in the Azure, or some extra services will be provided in AWS. That is only the difference. The functionality of the AWS and functionality of the Azure are up to some extent both are same. Both are provide the cloud-based services to the customers. Okay. Now, next thing we need to discuss about what are the features between feature comparison as prospective to AWS and Azure. So what are the different services? Actually, what are the services available in AWS and what are the services available in Azure? Okay, so very first, if I talk about the computing, so basically the main core services are computing services, storage services, then database services, then networking services, then security related services that will be provided by each and every cloud providers. Okay, if I talk about the computing services, can anyone tell me if you're aware with the what is the meaning of compute? Compute means what? The normal definition for the compute. What is a compute? Where I'm not asking about the computing services and all these things. That part we discussed. But what is the meaning of compute? The word compute. Hello. Anyone, if you're aware, computing means what? Okay, fine. Now, so compute services. Computing means we need to calculate something. Compute is nothing but calculations kinds of thing. So here in the AWS, we have a different computing services. That is one of the popular computing services is EC2 service. Okay, EC2 means what? EC2 stands for Elastic Compute. Now this EC2 service is responsible to give the virtual machines for us. They are used to provide the virtual machines to the customer. And we can choose the virtual machine as per our need, as per the capacity we require, as per the storage we require, as per the platform we require. We can choose that VMs. We can create those VM on this cloud platform. Okay, as per our application requirements. Now next is the Lambda service. Lambda is another computing service. So what is this is a popular one in case of AWS. If I talk about the Lambda service, so with the help of a Lambda service, what we can do is we can able to write the programming function logics. Okay, coding logics. So we can create a function, we can write some logic inside that function, and that's get executed. That is the about the Lambda service. So if you want to write some logic for the deployment, for any monitoring operations, or for any development kind of operations, so you can easily write those function codes. So Lambda functions can give the authority to write the codes in programming, different programming, Java programming, Python programming, PHP programming, so Node.js programming. So whatever is comfortable as per the client, they can choose and they can write the functionality codes by using this Lambda service. Now, third one is ECS. ECS is Elastic Container Service. It is related to Docker. So basically, ECS is nothing but it is a Docker of the AWS platform. So this is about the computing service of AWS. Now we discuss the computing service of the Azure. So if I talk about the Azure, we have a virtual machines. We have, if I want to create the virtual machines, virtual servers, so we have that virtual machines. So it is a replacement, or what we can say, it is similar to the EC2 instance. The virtual machines are similar. So you can create the VMs by using this virtual machines service. Now Azure function. Now Azure function is also similar to the Lambda function here. So in AWS, we have a Lambda function, and in Azure, we have Azure functions where we can write the functional codes. Okay, then app service, the third one. Now, next we discuss about the storage services. If I talk about the storage services in AWS, so in AWS, basically we can have the three types of storage: object storage, file storage, and block storage. So based on that object storage, file storage, and block storage, we have these three popular storage services that is being used in the AWS platform to store your data of your application. Okay, either you can store the data in S3 service, in EBS service, or EFS service. The same way we have a storage service in the Azure. So in the Azure, we have a block storage service, we have a disk storage service, and we have a file storage service. Okay, so that S3 is nothing is but it is a simple storage, and EBS is nothing but elastic block storage, and EFS is nothing but file storage. This is a block storage, file storage, object storage. And in case of Azure, we have a block storage, disk storage, and file storage. Okay, these three types of storage services we have in case of Azure. Now, if I talk about the database. Now, in the database, guys, database is basically, it is used to store the application data. Okay, so we have a different database: relational database, non-relational database, SQL database, no SQL database. Till now, we heard the multiple things about the database. So in the AWS, we have a service that will support the different types of database, like relational database like PostgreSQL, SQL, Oracle. Okay, this RDS service will support the all types of relational database inside a one platform. RDS stands for Relational Database Service. Now we have a DynamoDB service is also present inside the AWS. That is a serverless database. Okay, DynamoDB. Now Redshift database is also there. Okay, Redshift database service is also there inside the AWS. Now if we talk about the Azure, now you can see in the Azure, we have Azure SQL database, we have Cosmos database, and we have a PostgreSQL database. Okay, these three types of database services we have inside the Azure. Okay, then if I talk about the networking services, in AWS, we have a VPC networking service, that Route 53 networking service, and CloudFront networking service. So this all are the networking services. Networking, why we require a networking services, guys? See, because if I want to maintain my application on the cloud platform, the internet connection required, right? So that networking is required. So how we can manage that internet connection, that networking? Via VPC. Okay, via VPC service, we can manage that internet connection and networking. Now, why this Route 53 is required? Because see, in the Route 53, what we need to do is, we need to host a website. We need to purchase a domain for the website in the Route 53 within the AWS cloud provider. Now, CloudFront is a different service. CloudFront is what? CloudFront is basically used to display the content of your application throughout the world. Okay, so that is about the CloudFront service. Now, if we can see the networking services in terms of Azure. So here is a VPC. Here we have a VPC in AWS, but here in the Azure we have a virtual network, which is similar to the VPC. Then we have Azure DNS, which is similar to the Route 53 service. So this is used for the domain name. So domain, it is a domain name service, domain purchase. We can purchase the domain by using this service for our application. we can maintain the internet connections via this virtual network service. And then CDN service. So CDN service is similar to the CloudFront service. So it is used to display your web application content throughout the world without any latency. Okay, that is about the networking services. Now we need to discuss the security services. So if I talk about the security services, so IAM is the one of the security service in AWS. Okay, KMS is the one of the security service. Then we have a security groups, that is the security firewalls. Okay, so IAM service is basically is used to give the access to the users as per their job roles. Okay, suppose, so let's say in AWS we have more than 200 plus services. So is it not possible? It is not possible to give the access of all the services to the all the users inside your organization. So what we can do, we can tackle each and every employee and what is the job role of that particular employee. Based on the job role of that particular employee, we can give the access to limited services which is useful for that employee in the AWS platform. So this is managed, this kind of things will be managed with this IAM. Now, what is the security groups? In the security groups, what we can do is we can control the traffic. Okay, incoming traffic and outgoing traffic for the application. Now, what is a KMS? KMS is nothing but it is a key management service. If using this key management service, we can make secure transmission of data via applying encryption. So through the KMS, we can apply the encryptions to the data of your applications. Okay, if I talk about the Azure. Now in the Azure, we have Azure Active Directory, which is again similar with the IAM in AWS. So in the Azure Active Directory also we can we can maintain the records of the employee, we can check the job roles of the employees. And as per their job role, we can provide the access of the Azure services to those employees. The same thing like a IAM. Okay, then network security group. In AWS, we have a security group. In Azure, we have a network security groups, which is again used to control the incoming and outgoing traffic for your application. Okay, then we have a Azure Key Vault, which is similar to the KMS. Okay, by using this Azure Key Vault, we can generate encryption for the application data. We can use the encryption mechanism for the application data. So this is the things related to the services. So these are the differences of the services in Azure and AWS. Okay, next point we need to highlight is strength. What are the strength of AWS and what are the strength of Azure? Okay, that point we need to discuss. Now, if I talk about the strength of the AWS. So AWS is the top market leader nowadays. Okay, because AWS open their data centers across the world. We have a global data center concept in AWS. And this feature already we discussed, the scalability feature and flexibility feature. What is the scalability? We can easily increase the number of servers as per the traffic increases. We can decrease the number of servers as the traffic decreases. We can choose the VMs as per our choices. We can choose any operating system. So that is kind of flexibility is provided. So that feature we already discussed, that strength is already discussed, the flexibility, scalability, then innovation. Continuously, the AWS team makes some innovation. They can launch the new services, okay, like artificial intelligence services, IoT services, big data services. For each and every platform, they are making the different services. They are creating some innovations in the services. They are launching the new services which will be help to each and every sector, which will be helpful for each and every sector. Okay, next feature, next strength of the AWS is security. Security. So if I talk about security, so how security is provided? By using security groups, by using IAM service, we can provide the security. By using encryption methodology, we can keep our application data to be safe. So that is about the security. Okay, then after that, ecosystem. What is the ecosystem and support? So if we get any issue in between by using any of the service of the AWS, So AWS is also capable to provide the rich kind of documentation. So by referring those documentation, we can easily understand if any new service is introduced by the AWS team. So definitely they provide the documentation for that. And if we are getting any issues with the existing services, by referring those documentation, that issue is also get resolved. So their documentation and support system is much strong. That is the one strength points of AWS. Now we talk about the strengths of the Azure. Now what are the different strengths of the Azure platform? Now in the Azure platform, we can easily integrate the Azure services with the Microsoft products. So Microsoft product like Office 365, then Microsoft Windows Server, Microsoft Active Directory. So we can easily integrate the Azure services with the Microsoft platform. Then hybrid cloud capabilities. What does it means? So it will focus on the hybrid cloud deployments with the Azure architecture, Azure stack. That is about the hybrid cloud capabilities. Next is enterprise focus. Now, what is that enterprise? They can provide the strong support for the development and testing environments. Okay, they can provide the support, strong support for the security, the Azure services. Okay, so even though the security is also that much essential point in terms of Azure as well. Also, they can introduce the new services like AI services, then data analytics services. Okay, they are also launching the different new services as per which will fulfill the requirement of each and every department. Okay, then they have an extensive global network. So wide they have a multiple, like we can say, as we compare with this AWS. So in the AWS we have a global data centers. Now here in Azure also they have a global regions, global data centers means from the, we can say, the locations from the worldwide, they capture the data center, Azure as well, like AWS. Okay, so this is about the strength. Now we can discuss about the weakness. What is the weakness point? What is the minus points between the AWS and Azure? Now we discuss the plus points. Now, if I talk about the minus point, okay, minus point is what? Let's say if I talk about the Azure. So in the Azure, so the learning approach is quite complex. Okay, we can say it should be complex to navigate. Okay, then after that, pricing. If I talk about the pricing complexity, so Azure pricing is difficult for prediction, but this AWS pricing is not difficult for prediction, we can say. So they charge unexpected cost without the monitoring the things. So that is the one of the drawback of the Azure. Okay, then they are less mature in certain areas. Means like AWS, they are not maturing all the perspective, all the areas, especially for the infrastructure as a service. Okay, what is that infrastructure as a service? So if I talk about this infrastructure as a service, IaaS, okay, so that means the ready-made infrastructure is provided by the team, and ready-made infrastructure is provided by this cloud provider, and we are using those infrastructure. Now, if I talk about the documentation and support, so Azure documentation support is not that much strong as compared to the AWS, because they are continuously still are in the improving phase. They are improving their documentations. Okay, so that is about the minus points, okay, about the Azure. And if I talk about AWS currently, that not that much minus points will be uh, will be raised in AWS platform. But if I talk about Azure platform, in the Azure platform we have this minus point. But nowadays they are continuously improving their documentation, so no need to worry about that. Now, next thing that we need to discuss is certification. So which certification the AWS can offer, and which certifications the Azure can offer. Okay, so if I talk about the different certifications are, so AWS is basically offer the certification for the cloud practitioner. That is a fundamental level certification which consists of the basics knowledge. Okay, then Azure offers the developer certification. Okay, developer associate for developers, they have a different certification. For system operations, they have a different certification. And the popular certification currently that they the very demand, we can say, solution architect associate certification. Okay, then we have then they have a advanced networking certification. This is for the networking, the person who work with the networking. For networking expert, we have yeah.
Yeah, got it. As you said, like
Yes.
solution architecture certification, it's the most popular.
Yeah, it's the most popular. Yes, correct.
May I know why? Like, why?
Yeah. See, because the thing is that with the solution architect, so whenever, let's say, suppose if I go with this cloud practitioner certification as a beginner, means I'm not from the development perspective, or I'm not from the networking perspective, but still I want to complete the any one certification. So why I can choose this solution architect? Because why it's popular. The thing is that, so in the solution architect certification, the syllabus is designed in such a way so maximum services of the AWS is get covered inside this complete journey of the solution architect. The maximum services covered and maximum hands-on we are able to perform, and we are able to understand the maximum services hands-on. And the thing is that the responsibility, what is the exact the role of the AWS solution architect is, the AWS solution architect is responsible in the organization. If you are working as a solution architect, what is your responsibilities? You can apply, you can understand the services which is beneficial for the particular application, and even though you need to think about the cost optimization, so which service is a cost optimized service. So definitely if you choose the cost optimized service for the your organization application, definitely the your what we can say, the impact of the solution architect is most uh, impressive, we can say. So the solution architect is responsible to search to choose the cost optimized services from the number of the services that AWS provides for the application.
You mean to say like the syllabus for solution architecture is covering like practitioner, developer, database
Yeah,
administrator.
many services, not related to developer, not related to networking, but multiple services which will be inside the AWS platform.
Okay. Okay.
That is the thing. And even though the solution architect is responsible to design the cost optimized architectures for the application with the AWS services. So definitely organization get benefited by this.
Okay.
So that is the reason. That's why it's popular.
So in organization, among the organization, this certification is more populated. You meant to
Yeah,
say.
lower populated nowadays. This one also, then DevOps one also. So because
And
as we know, DevOps is in the market. Currently, it is booming in the market, DevOps platform. So in the DevOps platform, the deployment part will be there. Then continuous testing, CI/CD pipelines will be there. Then in the DevOps platform, we have the repository management, version control systems will be there. So that's why this is also one of the trending one, DevOps engineer.
so in the context of DevOps, it's much useful. You meant to say.
I think if you want to explore more services, so the solution architect is most useful for you. So because it consists of the DevOps 2-3 services from the DevOps perspective, also like a container services like a Docker, Kubernetes. This service is also in the syllabus of the solution architect.
Okay.
So it is
Okay.
a combination. It is a combination, means development related services like a Lambda is also present in the solution architect for
Okay.
developer. Networking services like a VPC is also there.
So most of the like, as I told you, like cloud practitioner, the basic concept, developers concept, and DevOps concept,
Yeah,
that
it
kind
is
of
a
syllabus will
combination of
be, it's a combination of all of the stuff.
three. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So So what we are discussing the last point. So AWS offer the certification in the networking, security, big data. Then they are offering the certification for the DevOps engineer, solution architect. Okay, if I talk about the Azure one. Okay, So Azure one. So if I talk in the Azure, also we have a certification for Azure Developer Associate. Then Azure Administrator certification is there. Okay, then Solution Architect also. Then DevOps Engineer. Then AI Fundamentals, IoT Platform. Okay, but if you compare in the AWS, we don't have any certification for the IoT developer, but here in the Azure, we have a IoT developer certification and we have a Power Platform fundamental certification. Okay, that is, this is the thing. So, but AWS offers this many kinds of certification and Azure offers this many kind of certification. If you compare, the AWS certification are more and Azure certification are less, but it should be the thing is that here we have AI certification, but here we have in case of AWS, we have a machine learning specialist certification, okay, which is we can say equivalent to the AI fundamental certification. But IoT we do in AWS we don't have the IoT one, but in the Azure we have the IoT developer certification. So this is the certification. So in the Azure also the solution architect certification is the trending certification. Okay. Then after that, DevOps is the second one, trending certification in Azure as well. Okay. Even but other certification is depends on your job role, functionality, your choice, interest. You can choose the certifications. Okay. So which one to choose? Either we can. So both are the strongest leader in the market. Okay, Azure as well and AWS as well. But what my suggestion is, so everyone can go with the AWS because rather if I talk about the market share and all this thing, so AWS is the leader. Okay, but if your choice, if you can choose the Azure certification as well for your career, that is not the thing. But if you compare the market share and all the other fundamentals, documentation and all this thing, the AWS is the strongest one. Okay. Now, next, hands-on learning approach. Now we need to talk about the hands-on, how exactly we conduct the trainings. Okay, the certification training. So, on the day from the day one, what we can do is we can first give the details about means the theoretical discussion about the each and every service. Immediately we can start the hands-on. So hands-on will be conducted with our platform. We have our own platform, that is Novel Vista Play Portal. Okay. In that Play Portal, we configure the problem statements. Okay. For respective certification trainings, for respective services. And after that, we can, it will give the AI generated result for us, AI generated platform. We can create it in the Novel Vista Play Portal. So it consists of the different problem statement, real-time scenario-based questions. Okay, real-time scenario-based problem statements we can provide. So you can get more clarified about the services. And once we complete, let's say for the day one, if this we have completed 5 services, 4 services for the day one. So immediately we can take the questions that might be asked in the certification examination. We discuss the questions as well on the same day. Okay, what the pattern of the question for you to understand what will be the pattern of the questions in the certification examination. That part we can discuss along with hands-on. Okay, so now you can see. So these are the users who attend this particular assessment, hands-on labs, and after completing the hands-on lab, this kind of result is getting generated, that test case are passed or test case is failed. Okay, that kind of result will be generated from the our platform. So we configure for each and every service this different hands-on labs will be there for each and every service. Okay, for your practice. Then any question, any answer? So that's it about the complete, just this webinar is elaborate you. So both are master AWS and Azure master cloud providers are there. But to which one is the better for as to start with the career? Okay. As per my suggestion, you have to go with AWS. Okay, but if it your choice, you can go with Azure because see, if we check the plus point of AWS rather than Azure, the plus points are more. if we compare. Okay, but it is completely each and everyone choice. Either you have to go with the AWS certification or either you have to go with the Azure certification to start with your cloud journey or cloud career. Okay, so any questions, anyone? So if you have questions, kindly ask.
So,
The
Karishma,
services, yeah.
so as of now, like AI is also booming along with cloud.
Yeah, AI is also booming. Yes, correct. Yeah,
So,
in the AI, we have Gen AI is the most of the booming,
mm,
generative AIs.
okay, so along with like cloud, so which one is, yeah, which one is which certification is good for AI as well?
You can go with the Gen AI then. Gen AI is nowadays, if you know about the tools like a Chat GPT, okay, one of the popular tool, which is the Gen AI part, okay, which is most popular nowadays. So you can go with the Gen AI as per the current trending market in the AI perspective. Or if you want to make a career, so cloud is one of the boosting industry, we can say.
Okay,
No
so
challenges for cloud, but in
there's a
AI,
no combination with cloud and AI, right?
no,
As
it is not a complication. But if you want to make a certification, if I scroll back, let
Mhm.
me move to that particular slide. Can you able to see we have a AI certification as well, AI fundamentals
Mm.
certification with the cloud.
Yes, Azure AI
Yeah,
fundamentals.
yeah. So you can choose that. And in AWS, we have a machine learning and AI certification as well. If you go with the AWS for the AI.
Okay, that's not here, right? Right.
Yeah, that is not here, but we have that. If you check the official site of the AWS, let me show you the official site. Just a minute, give me a minute. Huh. So we have in the AWS, we have machine learning one. So just tell me, screen is visible for you.
No, Karish. Yeah, now able to see.
Yeah, you can able to see this is AWS machine learning engineer certification.
Okay, got it.
Machine learning and data engineer. Data engineer is a different one. Data engineer is related to database part. Machine learning is related to ML. Okay, ML and AI. Okay.
Okay, that's clear.
So if you want to make a combination of AI based services and
Mm-hmm.
if you want to make a combination of a cloud also, so you can do this kind of certification that I suggest if you're interested in AI platform.
Yeah, both. Mm-hmm.
So it should be good for you. So cloud is also in the one certification, you learn both the things.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Any more questions? So that's it from my side. Any more questions? Anyone?
Hello. Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
Actually, so you will provide only certification training or
Yeah. The certification training will be also there. There will be multiple certification trainings and the corporate client trainings also we have.
okay, but if certification if you fail, right, then our money is gone, right?
Hmm?
No, no, the certification, right? If you fail, right, in first attempt,
Certificate. Not getting.
no, no, no.
Hello.
Suppose these are paid certifications, right?
Yeah, these are paid certification. Yes.
So if we fail in first attempt, then our money is gone, right?
Yeah,
No,
Karishma,
but no fail. Actually, the thing is that what current whatever batches we conducted till now, so all
Karishma,
the participants, yeah,
hello, Karishma, Chandrakant this side. Hello, everyone. This side,
yeah.
Chandrakant. Like I represent Novel Vista and I take care of the complete retail batches. So let me answer these questions. So as it is mentioned here, like it is 100% money back guarantee if you are not cracked the certification in first attempt. So we have a two offer. One is like you are going with the training part and paying certification from your end and going for a certification. In that case, if you fail in first attempt, again you need to pay the full amount of certification exam fee for a retake examination, right? But if you go with our like this composite complete package with the training along with certification with 100% money back guarantee, in which we will prepare you enough. We will share the practice exams, multiple practice exams, and you have also leverage to attend the multiple session within 3 months of the training program if you are registering, right? And also, in any case, let's say you have failed in first attempt, so you don't need to worry about the second attempt examination. That is our headache. We will take care of it. I hope you have got the answers.
Yes, yes, correct.
Yes, Shantanu.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
If anyone
one more
have any other questions regards to the training, certification, delivery, then please feel free to ask.
Yeah, yeah. One more thing. So currently, means I'm working in AWS. Okay.
Sir, I'm
Problem with
not getting very clear voice of yours. Can you
okay,
please
okay.
be louder?
Are you able to hear now?
Yeah, is it better now?
Okay. So I'm currently working in AWS. Okay. But out of the 200 services, right? Means I might be using 10 or 15. Okay.
Mhm.
But in the exam, right? They will ask about all the services, right? Means
Yes,
most
maybe. Yes.
without the practical knowledge, means so even if we clear the certification, how will it help actually?
No, basically, sorry. If you talk about the certification exam, like every certification body, there is a little bit difference in the main certification exam and the actual practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you go with the certification exam, you can say like a 60-70% questions you will be getting based on the theory and the definitions, right?
Mm-hmm.
30% you can consider as a like practical scenarios, but normally the people who are like uh, you can say the understanding the complete training session, going with the pre-recorded sessions or the revise the session properly, going for the practice exam, so
Mm-hmm.
60 to 70% question they can easily crack, and that is the 65% is the passing mark which is required for the certification, right? So it is not like that if there is a 200 services in the certification, like in the AWS, so you have to have read out or go through the complete certification. In order to clear the certification, you have to go with the complete package or complete scenarios. But yes, if you are like a 50 to 60% scenarios you are going through, so on the basis of that, you can easily clear the examination. Because AWS exam is somehow like it's not very tough if you talk about the associate level examination, but for the professional level, you can say that it requires some practicals or some hands-on. But for the associate level, it is a mix of like theory part as well as some practical scenarios answer may be there. Questions may be
Okay.
there. Sorry.
Okay.
One more question. What would,
Yes, please.
yeah, what about the validity of certification?
Validity of
Certificate.
certification validity is 3 years. So whenever you are going for the certification for AWS, it will have a validity of 3 years, right? So after 3 years, you have to retake the examination, or if they have any process, currently like the process is the renewal for a retake only.
If you go upper version, then the earlier like
Sorry.
associate. If we clear the associate, and then we'll if we go for professional, so the associate will be renewed.
No, as of now, if you talk about the AWS certification examination, there is no like a linking process like other certification bodies. So if you are having the AWS certification exam, so for renewal, you have to go ahead with the AWS associate level only. If you are going for the because as of now, for any of the certification exam, there is no prerequisite, right? For AWS basically. So basic, if you are going for any of the certification, there has be in the individual renewal process, not like other certification bodies. Like if you are going for upper level, they will get the renewal for the lower version. But sometimes they may launch any like promotional offers, maybe year end or in December or somewhere. So if that is coming, so you will automatically get that update on your email if you have already done any certification from AWS. So that is
And
hardly we have seen like in last 1 or 2 years that they have launched any these kind of you can say promotional offers, right? But generally what we have seen, if you have any certification in AWS, so you have to renew by going that certification exam. Yes, I think Radhesham, you have one questions, please.
So this, okay, sorry. So this 40K, right? 40K. So it is for one certification.
Yeah, it's a 40K. That is for a AWS Solution Architect Associate level training. That is 32 hours of training plus certification exam fee included in that, along with your 100% money back guarantee if you are failing in first attempt.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So what about second attempt again?
Second attempt, like generally what if you talk about the certification, so we will prepare you well in order to clear the certification exam. As rightly Karishma said, like we haven't seen anyone in last like a few batches that anyone have not cleared the examination. That's why we have that much confidence. But in any case, let's say 1% case you have failed in first attempt. So for the second attempt certification exam fee, we are going to pay. You no need to pay even a single penny apart from this 40,000, right? So second attempt examination fee, we are going to bear and we are rebooking your exam and then you will get it passed.
So Chandrika, here you put the some asterisks, correct, about the. So what exactly condition is that?
A strict condition generally like at the time of certification, if there is any changes happened in between, generally it doesn't because every year wise they change, right? So if there is any strict conditions, so we have one of my team member Prasad, like I'll share your details to him. He will call you back tomorrow. He will explain you the asterisk details. Okay, because that asterisk details changes batch to batch. But generally, if you talk about, there is no like whatever I have told you on this call or something that is fixed, but asterisk details he will update you on the call by sending you the email or other information. So I'll just text your email ID on this chat box. So I'll ask him to call you back tomorrow and he will explain you if there is any asterisk conditions are there. Okay.
Okay, so do we have any other questions to the trainers or to the Chandrakant related to the certification? Okay then, so just to summarize on the certification of AWS Solution Architect program. So it is a globally recognized credential followed by comprehensive 4 days of live virtual training. Then we have expert instructions and practicals. And yes, as Karishma mentioned, we have hands-on learning. So I'll say just don't miss out the opportunity to advance your career and stay ahead in this competitive field of cloud computing. So I believe maximum candidates will enroll and will be one step toward becoming a AWS certified.
And Mayuri, I hope
Yeah.
you must have shared the slides. Like we have one batch starting in this week only for AWS. I mean, 16, 17, and the next weekend for AWS Solution Architect Associate. And for a person who is interested in Azure fundamentals, so we have a batch on 16th of this month. I mean, day after tomorrow. That is 1 day training program morning till evening with the hands-on activities on Azure 900 or Azure Fundamentals. So if anyone is interested for this batch, so you can reply us on the email which we have received for the registration. There must be Prasad email ID and the contact number. You can reply, or you have a training email ID, you can reply. And we will have very good offers going on. It may be because batch is just day after tomorrow only, right? So you can get the best offers available for that, right? So for Azure 900 fundamentals, we have a batch on 16, and for a AWS solution architect, we have a 16, 17, and the next weekend. That is of 32 hours training. Yes, Mayuri, you please continue and close.
Okay, nothing as of now. So we have Chandrakant who have briefed about the training program overall. So if we don't have any further questions, then we are good to conclude with this session. So before concluding this session, just okay, so just to conclude, before concluding the session, I just wanted to highlight that I have shared one feedback link in the chat box for everyone. So it's a request, and it would be great if you could share your feedback about this webinar. Also, I have mentioned some of the questions. So if anyone interested for the certification program, I will request to please share your details in that feedback form so that we can get in connect with you. So thank you once again for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you again in the certification program. And as we draw this webinar to the close, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us today. And your participation and engagement have truly made this session insightful and enriching. So I hope again that everyone is leave here with not just new knowledge, but also with a sense of inspiration and motivation to apply what you have learned. Again, a big thank you to Karishma for your wonderful session and your thoughtful insights about the topic.
Thank you, Mayuri. Thank you so much for organizing this session, and thank you, Karishma, and everyone. Have a nice evening to all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening or a great day ahead.